they go back on the road, and the defense has not been good on the road. What are you expecting from them against the Raiders in Las Vegas?
Pain. The Raiders' offensive line is awful right now. Colton Miller's on injured reserve. Geno Smith has taken. The Browns obviously have had a bunch of sacks in the last couple of games. Myles Garrett has 10 in his last three. I mean, if you go down the list of sacks, with the 49ers and the Bengals, Myles Garrett in 3 games basically beaten all of them. But with the combination of the Raiders' offensive line is even worse than the Browns, and Geno Smith, who I think is a really talented quarterback, does tend to hold on to the ball and want to try to make plays. And he's trying to win. And he's trying to do all these other things. But he's taken, I think, something like 10 sacks in his last 2 games and some preposterous amount overall, like 31 for the season, which is the 4th most. That is a really bad combination for this game because the Browns, you're getting Mason Graham is playing really, really well these last couple of games. Myles Garrett is obviously on a tear. This unit is really coming together. And I just think that part of it is going to be a really bad situation for the Raiders this week. We'll see if the offense can do anything. The Raiders may be thinking the same thing on their end. But the bottom line is, like, for a defense that's playing better and better as of late, they're getting a team that is absolutely in a terrible spot on the offensive side of the ball.
Do you have what do you expect from Shedeur Sanders? Do you think an entire week of preparation and all of the looks that they give, the reps with the ones, if you will, does it make a significant difference?
Yes, in the sense that I don't think he will be quite as bad in such a truncated amount of time. For example, everything Shedeur Sanders did in one half of football, I've seen Dillon Gabriel do over the course of 5 games. So I don't want to put it in this situation where Shedeur Sanders is awful and he's never going to be any better because he's just making a whole lot of mistakes in a short amount of time. But overall, I think you're going to get a mixed bag. He's going to make some throws. You're going to be like, wow, he can really throw the ball. And then he's going to make a couple plays. You're going to be like, what is he doing? Why is he insisting on making bad situations worse and not getting out of plays? My hope for him is that the script gets him on a good pace and gets him a little bit of momentum and he gets some confidence going that way. I think that can help him. My concern is that if they struggle coming out of the gate, it could make a bad situation worse. Now, the Raiders defense is not great. So we talked all season about, man, I hope the Browns wait for the Miami Dolphins to put Dillon Gabriel in the starting lineup. Shedeur Sanders could not ask for a softer landing in terms of the defense he's going to play, but it's still an NFL defense. He's got a short time to prepare. So hopefully that gives him some better situations to work in. And I think it can be better. It's just a question of, what's the proportion of good versus bad. I just think you're going to end up with some sort of mixed thing where the people who absolutely love him are going to get what they want, and his detractors are going to get what they want, and the reality is going to be somewhere in between.
Is there anything that he can do in this game to get another start next week? Just in your mind and a gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just throw the ball away if it's not there. Just don't make negative plays or don't create negative plays. If it's the difference between a 0 play and throwing the ball out of bounds versus, taking a 5-yard or too often 15-yard sack, and just the abuse his body's going to take, that would make all the difference in the world. This team cannot afford to be in 2nd and 25, for example. It's just impossible. So, I mean, if you're trying to convince yourself, well, he should get another start, it starts with not being a negative effect. The argument for Dillon Gabriel right now is, yeah, he's not doing a whole lot to move the ball and create points and all this stuff. He's also not killing you with mistakes. You lose, but you lose less embarrassingly, I guess, is the situation there. Whereas Shedeur Sanders may offer more explosive elements, but the potential for disaster is significantly higher with him than somebody like Dillon Gabriel, which is why, it's easier for a coach to sort of hand the ball to Dillon Gabriel knowing he's not going to do something stupid, as opposed to being a little bit worried about anytime Shedeur Sanders drops back. It could be great. It could be terrible.